So, here in Algonquin Park, not somebody's backyard, we're testing out stoves because this is where you need to use them, and this is what you're using them with. I got the Biolite stove, new toy that my friend picked up. It's a wood-burning stove, and it charges itself. It's got a little fan, sort of like the Vitality stove, or what's that called?
Vital stove.
Vital stove, that's the one. But it's got a little thermo generator in it. So it recharges itself. It's got a little battery in it so you can recharge your phone, anything with a USB plug, basically. Really handy thing to have if you're going on an expedition trip. Versus my stove, tried and true Whisperlite by Mountain Safety Research. I like the Whisperlite a lot. I've cooked for a lot of people on just one. It's good on fuel. You can cook on it. People have a bit of trouble simmering with it, which is why they invented the Simmerlite, but there's ways around that. We're not here to discuss how to cook with them though. We're just doing a straight boil test. So, in the interest of fairness, I've gotten this going pretty good before I put the stuff on. It's generating its own electricity. And my stove is also on at full blast. So, put a pot here. I'm going to kick this into high gear. With the push of a button. And we'll see how long they take to boil the same amount of water. There's pros and cons to both. Obviously this one, you don't need to bring a fuel bottle with. You do have to haul around the little generator, which takes up a bunch of room in your pack. But all in all, it's about that big. Good, especially when you consider that you don't have to bring fuel with it. It's not like a firebox or Vitality stove. You can actually use it to generate a good amount of heat quickly, and you don't need to lug around batteries for it, at least disposable ones. As opposed to the Whisperlite, runs on naphtha. You can buy ones that run on anything nowadays, from kerosene to propane to diesel. Mine's just the normal one, because whenever I'm camping I'm going to be bringing naphtha anyway, and you can get it pretty much anywhere in Canada. Naphtha is a really easy fuel to work with. It's light, by which I mean it doesn't take up a lot of oxygen. You can use it at any altitude and any weather. We haven't tried out the Biolite in winter yet. I would imagine that you wouldn't want to use it in winter because gathering sticks would be a bit tougher. But in the summer, it's no worries at all. Weight is the other issue. Again, my Whisperlites folds up to really, really small, but you have to haul around the fuel tank. I think when you have both side by side, they're going to weigh about the same, so close that it doesn't even matter. It's coming along. I'm interested to see how this is going to pan out. I'm not entirely sure if the Whisperlite, which should go better, on paper it's going to go better, but you never know. Benefits of the Whisperlite over the Biolite, besides not smoking up the whole joint, is that you don't need to clear off scoring from the bottom. You get a bit of scoring on the bottom of this, but it's not the worst I've seen. It's easy to come off, especially if you do it quickly. Apparently there's some way to treat your pots and pans so that scoring comes off immediately, but we're lazy, and this is cheap, and it works. One other thing I want to point out about this type of stove versus this type of stove is that I do like using the Outback oven occasionally, as you've seen my other videos, I'm sure. And with a self-contained unit like this, or a butane burner or something like that, you can't use the Outback oven. You have to have the fuel source well far away from it, otherwise it's just going to get under the hood and explode. So, it's just one more point about the reason why I use the Whisperlite as opposed to the Bio Stove. Although, I am impressed. This is coming along nicely. So another thing we've noticed as we do these trials is that you do need a level surface. Otherwise, the pot is prone to fall off the Biolite. It was boiling on top of it.
Just have the pot.
Ah! Yeah. So this one's almost going. And this one, fairly definitively going. So there we go. The Whisperlite boiled definitively faster under what we could give as the best conditions for it, for the Biolite to go. Maybe it's because I don't know how to use it as much. Maybe it's because I've used the Whisperlite longer. Maybe it's because the Whisperlite burns fuel quicker or more efficiently. There are pros and cons, as we discussed, to both of them. If I was going for like a month, I would definitely want to have something similar to a wood-burning stove, just so I don't have to haul around a ton of fuel all the time. How we cook over it differs very greatly from the heat produced, so there is that too. I have to use a heat diffuser to cook even eggs on the Whisperlite, whereas with the Biolite you do get a grill. You can get a grill attachment or a kettle attachment, which make them a bit more easy to use for cooking. But other than that, Whisperlite, that's my main man. Biolite, pleasantly surprised how efficient it is. But I'll stick with the Whisperlite.